Como é que é, pessoal? Bem-vindos novamente ao Undergrounds Voice ao vivo. Hoje tenho o prazer de receber o John, o baixista de Scour. Man, thank you so much for being here. It's a really huge honor to meet you and to receive you at Undergrounds Voice. It's really great. So,
Thank you.
the new EP Black was released in November 27, and it's the final release of this EP trilogy. And it's by far the most ferocious and violent you ever made as a band. What's your vision and opinion about Black?
Well, I agree with you. It's just kind of like we had an idea to we got to step it up a little bit. You don't want to, make the same record over and over. So, let's make it faster and let's make it heavier and let's make it catchier all at the same time. That was the goal. And I think we accomplished it.
It's a great EP. And I was being the reaction from everyone. I think that this EP is reaching more people than the others, right?
Right. Yeah. Signing with Nuclear Blast was a big deal. They pumped it, outside of the United States for us. Scour took care of it in the United States, but it's always hard for people outside of the U.S. And it's not Scour's fault. It's just it costs so much money to ship anything.
Yeah.
Like if I wanted to ship you a Scour CD, it's going to cost the shipping's going to cost more than the CD.
Yeah.
And that's just it's a sad truth. And I wouldn't blame you for not wanting to pay all that money for just a CD. So it's nice to have other options, other parts of the world for distribution, and yeah, and with the help of the team that all worked on it, yeah, it definitely got out there pretty well. And the help of I'd say Jason Momoa really helped out. Him and his 15 million Instagram followers.
Yeah.
Every time he posts about us, we always get a couple thousand extra, eyes on us. So it's nice.
Yeah, as you said, Gray and Red, the other EPs, was released via Scour Records, Phil Anselmo label. Beside Scour, you're also working with Nuclear Blast right now. How did you guys had this opportunity to work with them?
Well, I think from what I can remember, they were interested in the beginning of the band. I mean, a lot of labels were, and we just decided to just stay with Phil's label. It's makes sense if your singer owns the record label. You don't have to worry about any shady business going on. So I think they were always interested, and they I guess approached Phil and Kate and worked out some sort of deal. But yeah, it's we're going to work with them in the future also. So, and maybe they might even reissue some of the old EPs, or maybe the whole trilogy, maybe a box set. Who knows? We just did some live songs, so there's no telling what they're going to do for us next. But it's been great working with them, that's for sure.
Yeah. And I already know the bands for some years, but when I was preparing the interview, I listened again the three EPs. It may seem completely stupid, but they remind me Panzer Division Marduk a little bit. The impression I always had is that your music have a very old school spirit, but updated to the present. It's like Black have this old school furious vibe of Panzer Division, and Panzer Division could sound like that if it was released nowadays. Does it make sense?
Yeah, I think Derek's influenced by those groups, and yeah, and it is. I think it's obviously with the production nowadays, it's not going to sound like a black metal record from the '80s, But yeah, definitely when Derek's got a kind of a pattern and just a formula, I guess, and it's just based around fast blast beats and catchy hooks and really quick to the point songs. So yeah, and I think he's like into Dark Funeral and
Yeah.
that type of stuff, and so yeah, it's gonna show in the songs.
The EP even have only 16 minutes, but it's enough to have some great guests like Eric Rutan from Eight Eternal, for example, or Pat O'Brien and Jason Momoa. Can you tell us more about their contributions?
Yeah, Rutan, he owns a famous studio down in Florida, and Adam's worked with him in the past, and I've been to that studio many times, just on tour, hanging out, and so we all knew each other, and we needed a ripping guitar solo, and we were thinking about who are the guys that we know that are the best guitar players we know, and it's like Rutan came up, and Pat O'Brien came up, and luckily they were both interested and did a great job on their parts. They wanted to do it, and then they showed us, does this sound okay? And it's just like, wow, this is going to work. It's just perfect solos for both of those guys. So it's an honor to have them. And then Momoa was through Derek had his number when he met him at the final Slayer show. So that was in LA, and there was, of course, a bunch of celebrities backstage partying, and Derek ended up exchanging numbers with them. And when we were going over our backing vocals, we said, hey, we need to get a guest for this part right here. And I suggested to Derek, I said, why don't you text Momoa and see if he'd want to do it? And within seconds, he texted back and said he'd do it. And, the rest is history.
Yeah. We all know that some supergroups exist to make money and take advantage of the fame of their members. I'm sure you don't even consider Scour a supergroup, but in some way it kind of is, due to your background as artist. With a completely different approach, of course, taking account that it's probably the most underground and extreme music you ever made, right?
Oh, I think so. Definitely. Yeah. And I mean, we all started off in like death metal bands. So it's really nothing new. The blast beats are nothing new to us, you know. But but yeah, it's always weird when people throw around the supergroup type stuff, but I always take it as a compliment.
It is. All the APs are really short. Having such a fast and aggressive kind of sound, the APs will continue to make more sense for for the band, or albums can be a reality too.
Well, I think since we've done the EP trilogy like we planned on, I think the next step is we're going to make a full length record. So, and then that's what a lot of people have been asking for anyway. And there's some people that won't even listen, don't take the EPs seriously, and it's a shame. But we're gonna, I think, go all the way and make a full length record next. So that's the plan.
Mhm. Well, at least you can play live all the discography so far. So
Right. Well, that's the thing. Since like you mentioned, they're very short EPs. So when we first started playing shows, we didn't have the second EP out yet. So we're like, we gotta write some other songs if we're gonna do a concert. You can't just do a concert that's 15 minutes long.
yeah.
You want to really piss some people off paying. I don't want to pay $20 to watch a band play for 15 minutes. But so we had to, write songs fast just to fill out some time and do some cover songs, and so yeah, when we just did this stream recently, we're like, I came up with the idea, so why don't we just do the whole trilogy? It's only going to be 45, 50 minutes anyway. That's a normal set. We just going to be a little bit of work, but let's just play every song we got. And so that's what we did.
Yeah. Will you continue to choose colors for the names of the next releases?
I don't know. We're for a working title, yes, we do plan. But if Phil says, "Hey, I got this idea, I got this concept, I got this album, idea," we're gonna go with it. So yeah, nothing's set in stone right now, except for I think we're gonna make it a full length. That's the only thing we really know for sure.
Yeah. And we can have shows and festivals for we don't know how much long. So what can you expect from Scour in the near future beside the future album?
Well, right. That's waiting patiently for festivals to come back is pretty much all we can do. We did the stream thing.
Yeah.
and that was a success, and it was fun, and it's something I think we'll look back on in 10, 20 years, be like, I'm glad we did that, I'm glad we documented that time. But we don't want to do any more of that. We want to get back to the normal big festivals. That's so besides writing the new record, it's just waiting patiently.
Yeah, we need festivals, we need shows as soon as possible.
Right.
Yeah. Well, finally, thank you so much for being here. It was a huge honor to meet you, to receive you there. So, last words for the Portuguese fans and Underground's Voice viewers.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, and we hope to come out to Portugal someday and play some Scour for you.
Really hope so. Once again, thank you, and please stay safe too.
Right on. Cheers. Thanks, man.
And thank you.
A good one.